Bi mwenyekiti, hii tungependekeza ama ningependekeza kuwa wakishusha bei ya ndege itafanya mambo yatakuwa rahisi kwa watu, kwa sisi local wa Kenya kuweza kusafiria. Lakini kwa sasa huu mfumo wa utoaji leseni ulio na masharti, yamekuwa na masharti magumu. Kwa hivyo imekuwa ndege zimekuwa chache tu za kwenda Mombasa, Nairobi. Kwa hivyo serikali ingefanya hima kuwa iweze kutoa leseni nyingi kwa shirika za ndege zingine ili kuwe na competition, na ndio Wakenya waweze pia kufaidika. Na saa zingine kuwa wanajaribu kuwa hali ambayo inaweza wangeweza kuwa na hali ile, wangeweza kuipunguza ili ifanye kuwe na mvuto wa tourists kuja Kenya zaidi. Lakini kama ndege ya local, kusema kweli bei yake ipo juu tu, na Wakenya wengi hawawezi kuweza kulipa hiyo bei iko juu. Kwa hivyo Bi mwenyekiti, mimi namuunga Senator Faki mkono kuwa bei ya Kenya Airways na Jambo Jet kusema kweli iweze kushuka chini, na huduma zake pia zao ziwe bora zaidi. Na sasa pia tumeanza kuona kuwa Kenya Airways bado huwa lazima ndege ziwe zimechelewa. Kumekuwa na kuchelewa ndege, kama unaondoka saa 2 unajikuta unaondoka saa 7 ya mchana. Kama unaondoka saa 7 utajikuta unaondoka jioni. Kwa hivyo pia haina utaratibu wa saa zake ukamilifu wa kuweza kufanya kazi vizuri. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali iweze kusaidia Kenya Airways kuwa wawe na huduma bora, na pia fedha ama malipo ya ndege yapunguke.
Senator Veronica.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to speak into one of the statements that has been brought to the floor of this House by Honorable Dr. Bonnie Halwale. Honorable Speaker, I want to first quote Article 3 of the Constitution, that every person has an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution, and any attempt to establish a government otherwise than in compliance with this Constitution is unlawful. I'm quoting this because, Honorable Speaker, what we have seen in the maandamano that we experienced on 7th of July and 25th of June is not anything to write home about. Very well-intentioned demonstrations were turned into violent protestations, and instead of peaceably proceeding to demonstrate and raising the issues that public believes that they wanted to raise, there was so much infiltration from the political front that what we ended up with was loss of life, destruction of property, and we also saw careers curtailed and occupations brought down, Honorable Speaker, and even those Gen Zs who are working in those businesses now cannot wake up and proceed to work. From my end, I think our public and ourselves, we need to school ourselves once again on the constitutional stipulations when we are exercising our freedoms and rights, because rights carry obligations. They ride with obligations. And where somebody has a right, that right must not breach the rights of other citizens. And what we saw, Honorable Speaker, easily makes us think that we should actually not have demonstrations in Kenya for now. Because, Honorable Speaker, why would anybody even compel young people to go to the streets just to be in conflict with the police officers, Honorable Speaker, because they know at the end of the day there will be infiltration of that demonstration. The harm outweighs the good now. When it comes to destruction of property, loss of life, the intended good by Article 37 of the Constitution has been overridden by the harm that was caused, and even loss of one life is one too many for the nation of Kenya. We need to rethink, as a nation, what is our pledge, our loyalty pledge to the nation? What is our pledge? And I want to cite the Americans, Honorable Speaker, who value and treasure their nation and uphold their flag. They defend and protect their nation. Why are we not able to do that in the exercise of our rights under the Constitution?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm presuming that you have granted me the floor to also... Thank you very much. I equally want to support the statement by Senator Boni Halwale on the consequences of what was initially meant to be a very constitutionally protected right under Article 37 of the Constitution to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions, which, Madam Speaker, unfortunately turned out to be a destructive experience which this country has previously not experienced. Madam Speaker, the statement, whereas it is seeking, which I believe once it's committed to the committee, will seek to establish certain actions the government intends to do or has done, and also statistics on what the consequences became of those demonstrations, will, again, Madam Speaker, seek to establish beyond the statement, because whereas Article 37, as everyone else has said, entitles one to freely demonstrate and picket and present petitions, it equally gives that particular person a mandate and obligation in law to ensure that other people's rights, which are protected by the same Constitution, are not affected. Madam Speaker, this corresponding right has completely been thrown into the docks. When you look at what transpired on the demonstrations of 25th and the ones on Sabasaba, Madam Speaker, did not in any way resonate well with what the law requires of those organizers of the demonstrations, as well as those who participated in the demonstrations on that particular day. For instance, Madam Speaker, when you look at Sabasaba, that is something that we have for a very long time, since the 90s, before a good number of us were born, we have commemorated the day called Sabasaba. And during all those demonstrations and commemorations, we have not experienced the destructions of public property, private property, the killings of innocent Kenyans and people who were not participating in the process before. For all this period, Madam Speaker, the commemoration equally has been confined to one rallying code that required of that particular day to remember those who fought for this country to get multi-party democracy. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, it was hijacked by the political class, hijacked by those who were keen on destroying, stealing, and killing. The statistics, Madam Speaker, today, which the Ministry of Interior provided as to the value of the property that was lost, both public and private, is not anything to write home about. It is no longer, Madam Speaker, demonstration, and it's very unfortunate that sometimes even members of this House who've talked before me are seeking to profile to the extent that they are making reference to certain arrests and people being charged of various, of certain communities.
Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Order number 10 is hereby deferred, and allow me to rearrange the rest of the business so that we can now move on to order number 13.
Order number 13, the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2025, second reading.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Allow me beg to move that the county allocation of revenue bill, Revenue Bill 2025, Senate Bill number 9, to be read a second time, Madam Speaker.
Senator Cherarke, I think you were here when the Speaker guided on what should happen. I think you're stretching your luck. Please sit down and listen carefully. So you want to exchange with me on that now?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the county allocation bill 2025 was tabled before this House, Madam Speaker, as per our standing orders. And the county allocation bill 25 has been prepared in accordance with the Article 218(1) of the Constitution. The bill divides among counties the revenue allocated to the county level of government through the Division of Revenue Act. And the Act, Madam Speaker, does provide